All right, now let's create a new project for this section. So I'm going to create a new folder called mongo-demo. Let's go in this folder and run npm init with the yes flag. Beautiful. Now we need to install a node package called Mongoose. Mongoose gives us a simple API to work with a MongoDB database. Okay, so you can see at the time of recording this video, I'm using Mongoose version 5.0.1. So if you want to make sure you have the same experience as what I'm going to show you in these videos, I highly encourage you to install the exact same version. So npm install mongoose @5.0.1. Okay, now finally let's open this in VS Code. All right, now let's add a new file here, index.js. The first thing we need to do is to connect to MongoDB. So we load this mongoose module and store it in this constant, mongoose. Now this object has a method called connect. We use this to connect to MongoDB. Now here we pass a connection string that is mongodb://localhost. This references the MongoDB that we installed on this machine. When you want to deploy your application to a production environment, you're going to have a different connection string for the production environment. Earlier in the section about Express, I told you how to manage various configuration settings for different environments. In this video, we're not dealing with that level of complexity, so I have hard-coded the connection string here. But in a real application, your connection string should come from a configuration file. So here's our MongoDB server. Now after that, we add the name of our database. In this case, I'm going to use a simple playground database. Now we have not created this database, and it doesn't matter. The first time we write something to this database, MongoDB will automatically create this database for us. Okay, so this is how we connect to a MongoDB database. Now this connect method returns a promise. So we can call then when this promise is fulfilled. That means we have connected to a MongoDB database. So here we can do a simple console.log connected to MongoDB. And by the way, here I'm using console.log for simplicity. As I told you in the section about Express, in a real application, it's better to use the debug module because with that, you have more control over how much of these debugging messages you want to see in the console window. But in this section, we don't want to get distracted with too much complexity. We just want to focus on MongoDB. So this is for scenario where we successfully connect to a MongoDB database. But what if something goes wrong? We want to catch that error. Here we get an error object and then display it on the console. So console.error could not connect to MongoDB. And then we add the error object. Beautiful. Now let's run this application. So back in the terminal, node-mon index.js. So we can see we successfully connected to MongoDB.